So the client sent me this image for a beauty campaign. I'm going to take you through my whole process today.
For those of you that don't know me, I'm Mr.Jaypegg, award-winning, internationally recognized photo retoucher.
I'll be showing you how to take an already beautiful portrait and elevate it into true perfection. But first, roll my intro.
I smooth the skin, I blur the lines, erase the years in record time. Award-winning vision, I see it all. Perfection lives inside my Photoshop wall. No pores, no flaws, no truth to find. A masterpiece born from my brilliant mind.
And we are back. I hope you enjoyed that little clip of my new song. Just, something on the side I've been working on. When it comes to retouching, you really have to know how to handle any face. Different skin tones, different ages, different textures. I've worked with them all. And the trick is, you've got to train your eye to spot the issues instantly. That's why I map everything out first. Other people might call it obsessive. I call it professional. Always ask what product you're shooting. In this case, it's a lip plumper. Unfortunately, the original model didn't show up. You have to adapt to any situation. So I asked them, on a scale from bell pepper to Carolina Reaper, how much does it plump? They said, Reaper. So, bigger it is. Okay, so now that the markings are all done, I grab the lasso tool and draw around the upper lip. The key here is confidence. If you hesitate with a lasso, it shows. Copy, paste, then warp it upward. Don't be afraid to push it. We can always scale back later if we need to. You'll notice the canvas spinning here. That's me on the Wacom tablet. And no, I'm not sponsored. Yet. So, next, I add a mask and take a soft brush around the edges. This gives everything a natural blend. Simple, but it makes all the difference. Let's move on to my favorite tool, the Liquify tool. We're just refining our new lips here. I'm grabbing the masking pen to block out the teeth. Don't want any distortion in there yet. What we're looking for is a natural, big lip look. Quick little pro tip here. I like to look at plastic surgery images, just to, get the shape right. Perfect. Let's move on. Next, I'm going to outline the lips. Pretty extreme. The goal here is exaggeration. We'll tone it down later, but pushing the color now helps with proportions, especially once we move on to digital makeup. Now, I drop the opacity down. And then I add a Gaussian blur, just to smooth out the color. This keeps everything soft and professional. All right. Now that the lips look plumped, I want to move on to the crow's feet. To get a natural effect, I start by grabbing the surrounding skin. Copy, paste, then warp it over the problem area. After that, I add a mask, and with a soft brush, I just paint lightly over the wrinkles. And just like that, we've shaved off about 10 years. Now, to save some more time, I just duplicate, flip, and drag it over to the other side. I'll throw in a curve to make it blend better. All right, next up, the brows. The client wanted a sharper, lifted look, so I just lasso around the brow, copy, paste, pull it upward. Same technique I used on the lips. And to really capture this style, I did some research. I kinda immersed myself in Asian culture. One of my main inspirations was Scarlett Johansson in Ghost in the Shell. And what stood out to me was her brows. Razor sharp. The makeup artist really nailed it. Once I'm happy with the shape, I like to organize my layers a little. I'll turn off the red lip color here so I can focus on the digital makeup. I'm just going to jump back to the Liquify tool, do a few final pushes and pulls. The goal is to be like ninjas. We were never here. Now, I didn't get much direction on the makeup, so I decided to keep it natural and go with a smoky eyeliner. You never want a dark eye and a dark lip together. I grab the lasso tool and draw out the shape of the liner. I make a new layer and just fill it in with black. I quickly drop the opacity to soft light and clean up the edges. Once I'm happy, I just duplicate, flip, and drag it to the other side. Sometimes I'll repeat this step a few times, just to build up the intensity I want. All right, moving on to the next stage. I create a new layer set to soft light. From here, I only use two colors, white for highlights, black for contour. Think of it like digital concealer and contour. Same principles as makeup, just done properly. I actually picked up this mapping technique years ago watching Michelle Phan on YouTube. Still one of the best resources, in my opinion. So I go in and map out all the areas of the face: forehead, cheekbones, nose, jawline. It might look extreme at this stage, but trust me, it's all part of the process. Now she's all marked up and ready to bake. To bake, we just hit it with a Gaussian blur, and voila! Instant makeup. You can repeat this step as many times as you like. Now that it's blended, I'll bring out my secret weapon, Mama's filters. I first got these from Photoshop Mama on YouTube, Mama Sham herself, back in 2007. Absolute legend on YouTube. This one's Mama's Blur. It gives a flawless, smooth finish I've trusted for years. And throughout this edit, we'll also be using her Rouge, Tanner, and Sparkles actions. Truly timeless tools. Alright, now that I'm happy with the overall look, I'll do a standard color correction using curves. I like to mess around with the RGB channels separately, just to fine-tune everything. And from here, it's just small details. Brightening the eyes, cleaning up edges, fixing any last-minute things. Little touches that bring the whole image to life. And there we have it. Another flawless transformation, from raw beauty to true perfection. These are techniques I've spent years perfecting, and honestly, this is just the beginning. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. It really helps. I've got a lot more to share, from advanced edits to maybe even some music, if you liked that little intro. So, thank you for watching. I'm James J.Pegg, but you can call me Jay. And this is only the start.
But I gave them glamour, the ultimate deal. Billboards, magazines, history books. Every face I touch gets the peg, perfect look. Old JPEG, retoucher of the year. Your flawless future